ESOPs are preferred? So as we are focusing on management team, and we want to ensure that as a business, my management team is rewarded, they are motivated, and they also look at KPIs based growth. So whether ESOPs can help in achieving that is the part of this slide. So ESOP aids in strengthening of the management team, no doubt about it. It is a proven strategic tool. Uh, it's a In a competitive environment. Actually, it helps you with a lesser cash component to make yourself competitive in the market where the talent is at a crunch. So it's a great way to attract talent in a competitive market. It makes compensation attractive. This is paid through equity, so the company will save on the cash outflow, especially the early stage, growth stage companies. They want to save cash over there. So if we look at this instrument, the employees' salaries can be, or benefits can be quite attractive, because this gives them a piece of the future value, which can be quite significant as compared to what they will earn as their annual components from the company. The third is retention of key team members. ESOPs can be structured as plans. These are not like yearly bonus where your performance is appraised and you are paid against that performance. Here, this can be structured as plans, which can have 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, as many years as we want, and they can be structured in vestings where the employees will be motivated to stay longer in the company if they have to make out the full value out of their ESOP plans or their grants. It encourages the sense of ownership. So employees or the management team, in this case, if we look at, they will not directly on the cap table, but from a ESOPs entitlement or ESOP grants, they will have this sense of ownership that their equity is committed. So this helps in the motivation. ESOPs links business value creation with personal wealth creation. So there are limited opportunities for individuals as employees who to create wealth during their careers. ESOPs is actually those points where they can create wealth. Typically, an employee generates wealth at the time of the retirement, where they make their savings monetized along with their retirement funds. Whereas ESOPs can create similar or more value before their retirement, and this can be many points in time in their career. So it links organization value creation and personal wealth creation. So this is very important from a overall ecosystem standpoint, because many of these employees later become entrepreneurs where they promoted their own ventures because of the ESOP wealth they have created. It's a good thing to have from a environment standpoint. And again, I mean, VCs appreciates this very much. This can be used to influence performance and growth. So ESOPs, we have seen time-based vesting, but ESOPs can also be structured in a way where their vestings can be linked to different vestings conditions. This can be organization level conditions, or this can be individual conditions. This can be peer comparisons. So there are many ways of structuring the vesting conditions in ESOPs. So this can be aligned with the performance KPIs and the growth OKRs which the companies want to have, especially when a VC is in. So ESOPs can influence that as well. Now, we have seen that the management team will always comprise of a founder. So the question, one of these questions, it's a very common question which comes to me in many of my talks, is whether founders can be covered. So if it is a startup which is registered with DPIIT, you can cover founders up to 10 years of the incorporation of the company. So that is also possible. However, if it is not registered, then the founders cannot be covered under an ESOP program. Now, VCs will always have something to say on the ESOP plan of the company, because that is also relevant for them, because they for their investment in the company. So typically, if you see the VC sense, this will be more towards programs which have select management coverage, programs which are focused towards CEOs and CXOs and senior leadership. Uh, they believe that the vesting condition should be performance based, and it should be linked to growth drivers which are defined in the business plans. Exercise price linked to fundraise valuation. So typically, VCs are not in favor of granting of RSUs, or, for that matter, discounted options. They want to tag it to the FMV or the price which has been, recorded in the last fundraise. They are very keen on the data points. So what are the other companies doing, typically at that stage, how much pool they have set aside, how many employees they have covered, what instruments they have used, what are their vesting criterias, what KPIs they are using. So they are very keen to know about the peers and the industry in which the business is operating, and accordingly wants to benchmark with it. Uh, Exercises are linked to liquidity events. These are unlisted companies. So exercise in a closely held environment is not something which we see in many of our experience with VC invested companies. So exercise are linked to a liquidity event. This can be an IPO, or uh, change in control, or any fund infusion which happens in the company at a later stage. They're they're the even if they have not stepped in, or after they stepped in the company, they want the documentation to be precise and accurate, the employee communication to be where the employees have been communicated of the plan, their entitlements, the terms and conditions. So these are some of the guidelines, or if you are talking to any VCs, you can expect some of these guidelines or suggestions which will come your way. So I have now completed the first part of my presentation. We'll move to the next part, which is the employee stock option pool. How a founder or the company should be creating it. What is the thought process? So just to recap here, what we have seen so far is the due diligence aspects of a VC in a prospect. So we have seen the management, market, product, and financials, which were the four main criteria, and what are the main things they will be considering in their due diligence in that. And the management evaluation is the priority. And if you are looking at the management priority, then what are the means and ways of retaining them? ESOPs there is a tool which can help you achieve this.